Welcome back to Everyday English Unlocked, the podcast for learners who want to improve their English in a fun and natural way. I'm Edward.
And I'm Victoria. It's lovely to have you with us again.
It certainly is. Now, Victoria, today's topic is something that I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with.
Oh, and what's that?
We're going to be talking all about morning routines, the series of little habits and rituals that kickstart our day.
That's a fantastic topic because they can be so personal and really set the tone for the entire day. A good morning can often lead to a good day.
Exactly. So, as you listen today, we invite you to think about your own morning routine and see if you're more of a Victoria or an Edward.
All right, let's start with the most important question. Edward, are you a morning person or are you more of a night owl?
That is the easiest question I will answer all day. I am absolutely not a morning person. I am a night owl through and through. Mornings are a struggle. My brain doesn't seem to switch on properly until about 10 a.m.
So I'm guessing you're a big fan of the alarm clock.
Fan is a strong word. Let's say it's a necessary evil. I have 2 alarms set 5 minutes apart, and even then, I am very well acquainted with the snooze button. The snooze button, for listeners who might not know, is the button you press to get an extra 5 or 10 minutes of sleep.
Right.
Exactly. It's a bit of a dangerous game. I think my record is hitting it 6 times.
6 times? Edward, that's nearly an hour. I'm the complete opposite. I would say I am a morning person. I love the peace and quiet before the rest of the world wakes up. I rarely even need my alarm. My body just seems to know when it's time to get up.
I honestly can't imagine that. So, once you're awake, what is the very first thing you do?
Well, for years, the first thing I did was grab my phone. But I read a lot about how that can immediately put you in a reactive, stressful state of mind. You're instantly thinking about work emails or comparing your life to others on social media.
I know that feeling.
So now, I try to leave my phone alone for the first 30 minutes. The very first thing I do is drink a large glass of water that I keep on my bedside table. Then I'll just do some gentle stretching to wake my body up.
Okay, I have to confess, you are describing the exact opposite of my morning. My phone is the first thing I reach for. It's almost an automatic reflex.
The digital wake-up call.
Precisely. I scroll through the news, check my emails, have a quick look at social media. In my head, I'm justifying it as getting informed for the day ahead. But really, it's just a way to put off the moment I have to actually get out of my warm, comfortable bed.
I think many people can relate to that. It's a hard habit to break. So, after the phone, what's next?
Coffee. It's non-negotiable. I stumble to the kitchen, and my first coherent thought of the day is usually must make coffee. I have a little espresso machine. The sound and smell of it brewing is what truly signals the start of the day for me.
Ah, a coffee aficionado. I'm a tea drinker myself. It feels very British to say, but I can't start my day without a proper cup of English breakfast tea with a splash of milk. For me, coffee is more of an afternoon drink if I need a little boost.
I need that boost first thing. So while you're sipping your tea and I'm gulping my coffee, what happens next? Breakfast?
Yes, breakfast for me is usually porridge or oatmeal, as it's often called in America. I find it's the perfect fuel for the morning. It's warm, it's filling, and you can add so many different things to it. I like to add berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon.
That sounds very wholesome. My breakfast depends entirely on how many times I've hit the snooze button.
I can imagine.
If I'm running late, it's often just a piece of toast with marmalade, eaten while trying to find my keys. On a weekend, I love to make a proper fry-up. Eggs, bacon, sausages, the works. But that's definitely a treat.
A proper fry-up is a weekend essential. So that brings us to getting ready. Do you plan what you're going to wear the night before, or is it a last-minute decision?
I wish I was that organised. No, it's very much a case of opening the wardrobe and staring blankly for 5 minutes until inspiration strikes. It sometimes leads to some interesting fashion choices if I'm particularly tired.
Spoken like a true creative. I'm sure it always works out in the end. I have to pick my outfit the night before. It's one less decision to make in the morning. Then it's time for a shower. I'm firmly in the morning shower camp. It wakes me up properly. I often listen to a news podcast while I'm in there.
Same here. A morning shower is essential. It's like hitting the reset button. I tend to listen to music, something upbeat to try and generate some energy for the day ahead.
Okay, so we're getting near the end of the routine. Is there any exercise squeezed in there?
You know, I have tried. I've had phases where I've told myself, right, I'm going to be a morning runner. I'd set my alarm for some ungodly hour, put my running shoes on, and I'd last about 3 days.
That sounds familiar.
It's just too much for my non-morning brain to handle. So any exercise for me, like a trip to the gym or a game of squash, is strictly an after-work activity.
That makes sense. You have to work with your body's clock. I like to fit in about 20 minutes of yoga. I just find a video online. It's not about a hard workout. It's more about setting an intention for the day and feeling centered before everything gets busy.
That sounds incredibly civilized. So it seems we have 2 very different routines. Yours is calm, mindful, and organized. Mine is a race against the clock, powered by caffeine and procrastination.
I wouldn't be so hard on yourself. The most important thing is that the routine works for you. Does it? Do you feel good about your morning routine?
You know, for all my complaining, it does get me out the door on time. I think I secretly thrive on the slight chaos. I call it efficient panic. But I'm a little bit inspired by your routine. Maybe I'll try leaving the phone alone tomorrow. Maybe.
Well, that's a start. And I think that's the key takeaway. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to prepare you for your day.
Well, there you have it. From mindful yoga to the snooze button. We've covered a lot of ground, and hopefully some useful vocabulary too, like night owl, snooze button, and wholesome.
We would love to hear from our listeners about this. What does your morning routine look like? Are you an Edward or a Victoria? Let us know in the comments.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Please like and subscribe for more content.
We'll be back next time to talk about a very British obsession, talking about the weather. It's more complex than you think. Until then, goodbye.
Bye everyone.